Hi, in this video, what I'm going to talk about is a question I got from a parent who was asking about, is it okay for my son who's 13-year-old to use calculator because he's having trouble with math and he doesn't know his times table, nor does he know how to add. He can skip count, but that's it. He doesn't have any concept of adding or subtracting, and double-digit numbers are all confusing for him. So this is a question I get asked a lot about calculator use and how much is a healthy use. It's really important to have a balance of anything. Calculator is a tool. So if you're going to let your child use a calculator, how I use calculator with my kids and with my students, since I've been doing it for 23 years, is that I allow them to use it when they're checking their work. So I get my students to check their work, and when they're checking their work, I let them use this because they do have to understand how the calculator works and where the buttons are, because they will be using it in the higher grades. I also want to point out that overusing this to do their work and not learning the times tables and not mastering the mental math is not good for them. Why? Because they're going to spend too much time putting it into here when it should be like 9 times 9 should be 81. There should be no delay, because as they progress into the higher grades, that's going to take their working memory to occupy what's 9 times 9, what's 9 times 9, what's 9 times 9. So they're constantly looking for this 9 times 9 when they need to be focusing on higher math concepts. So what is the right amount of usage? So when they have not mastered the times table, it doesn't matter what age they are, we have to take them back to the primary level and make sure that they actually master the times table and they know it, and they know it by heart. There's a difference between knowing and knowing when someone asks 9 times 9 to without taking a breath saying 81. That is well rehearsed and they're able to take the information out so easily compared to someone who's like 9 times 9 and they start thinking, what is it? It doesn't help them because they're taking too long. So I have a balance. Everything comes with the balance. I'm not saying they can take the time to think or they can use this. The way I let my students use it is when they're checking their work, and my students always check their work, and I show them how to use this calculator, where the buttons are, what buttons all the buttons mean as well. And also remembering that a lot of the time in university they don't let you use these calculators. So I had a student, I remember very well. I remember this one student. She came to me and she was in second year calculus. And I thought she was coming to learn all the calculus concepts, and she was struggling with calculus. But why I remember her so much is that when she came to ask me how to multiply with 2 digits. Her problem wasn't the concepts that they were covering in calculus. Her problem was, how do I multiply double digits? Because she's been using calculators since grade 4 or 5. So if you have a child at home who is homeschooling or unschooling and you're allowing them to use calculator, it is okay, but with the balance. And of course they do have to master the foundation of numbers and also how to add, subtract. The easy math, they need to do it mentally. Mental math is very important. It makes our children very sharp, and it's an exercise for our brain more than anything else. So don't allow them to use too early. And even if you allow them to use even in grade 1, get them to use it to mark their work so that it becomes a tool that they can use, and they don't need to hinge on this as if it wasn't for this, they can't answer it. Even without this, they could answer. And another thing that I want to add before I end this video is that, is it okay to use the calculator on our kids' phone? Is it okay to use this versus a real calculator? In my class, I always tell my students to buy a calculator and get used to the buttons. On a test, they're not going to be allowed to use a phone. So it's better to use a calculator and consistently use the same calculator so that they get used to the buttons. The last thing you want to do is take a calculator to a test and you don't know where the buttons are or how to use the buttons. So we do need to train with the same calculator. Don't use the phone. Make sure to buy a calculator that you have it and it's yours and it's consistently you're using. So think about it like that. If you have a cell phone and it's not your phone and you get someone else's phone, of course we can find where things are. Cell phone's a little easier than a calculator, but it's the same thing. You need to understand this calculator and master the buttons as well as master the concepts of math. So this video is all about, can I let my younger children use calculator? What is the right balance? To summarize, you can let them use it, but if they haven't mastered the number system or the times tables and their mental math is struggling, using one of these will not solve the problem. They're gonna get really dependent on it and it's gonna show up later. But can you use it as a tool to help them understand how numbers work? And can they use it to check their work? Yes, they can. And also remember that mastering the mental math is so important for the students, as in the higher level, our students are expected to know math and the concept mental math without a calculator or any external help. So I hope that helps, and make sure your kids learn their times table, even though a lot of people out there think that times table is not important, but there is a reason why they learn it, because these are numbers that show up a lot in our life, and these are facts that are around us all the time. The more our kids know the times table and the number sense and the mental math, the faster and efficient their brain is going to work, and they're going to have more working memory power to solve other problems and other issues that are going to surround them later in the grades and in their life as well. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about math or learning how to learn, or helping your children at home with homeschooling, unschooling, please leave a comment below. I love to answer them. If you like this video and if you want more videos like this, please post in the comment below what are your questions regarding your children's education, learning math, learning how to learn. It could be in homeschooling or traditional schooling or whatever way you educate your children. Please put them down below this video. I would be happy to make another video to help you out. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the button and subscribe so that you will be notified when I make other videos about other parents' questions. Thank you, and enjoy learning with your children. And there is nothing better than being part of the journey when our children are learning to learn. And thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.